Hey everybody, it's Ryan. I have the 7600 and the Rhino 4155 rotary mower. Now I'm going to be challenging some of the multiflora roses down in the pasture. So starting this year, I would consider this year as the year that we're going to be starting to take back the pasture. In the past, we've had to use smaller mowers, ones that really don't reach that far outside the tractor. Well, this mower, it has enough clearance so that I can drive up along the brush, which is going to be pretty nice. So our pastures have been getting taken over by thorn bushes, and we're going to go down and reclaim some of the ground. Now I've got both drones back, but I was going to use my other one. They didn't send the props back. I told them to send me a fresh pair of props that I pay for them, and I guess they didn't include them for whatever reason. So now I gotta wait for those to come in. I can't fly the drone that I have very far because I don't have a wire that I need to connect it to the remote controller, so I have to fly it using my phone, which is pretty terrible. So I'm gonna go down in the pasture. I'm gonna show you what we're fighting against, and then we're gonna start mowing. I'm down in the pasture now. This is a multiflora rosebush. This is the enemy. So I'm going to give you guys a brief history lesson. Way back when, before my time, the government persuaded farmers to plant a bunch of this multiflora rose. They marketed it as a nice natural fence because cattle really don't like to mess with them because of their itty-bitty little thorns that they have all the way down the stems. So naturally, farmers planted these as a natural fence back in the day, and they actually worked pretty well. But over time, they realized that there are things called invasive species that really love to grow. And this is one of them. The other one that we're kind of targeting today is the thistle, which is right here. And obviously, cattle aren't going to eat that either. So over time, if you don't keep these things in check, they will start to take over. Now, the last time this hillside was cut through and through was probably before 2014. I'm gonna guess. And as you can tell, the bushes have kind of started to proliferate again. Over on that little prairie before we hit this tree over here, there are a ton of thistles over there every year. So we're gonna go over there and knock them out early this year. As you can tell, the rose bushes are starting to bloom. What the heck? Now I have no idea what that could be for. I mean, I'm pretty sure there used to be a house right up on the corner of the pasture up here. The foundation is still there, but it's really heavy. It's a really heavy wire, and it has some kind of sheathing on it. I was thinking maybe like an underground electric wire way back in the day, but I honestly don't know why it would be run through here. But, well, maybe we'll have to try pulling it up sometime next time we have the bobcat out in the pasture. But right now I can't pull it out. I don't really have anything to tie onto it with, so that's why you got to keep an eye out for when you're doing this, because you never know what you're going to find. I mean, I had no clue that was there, and I don't know how many times I've driven through here. And why it's standing up now, I would have noticed it. So it's beyond me. This is actually an old logging road behind me. Back in the day, they had to kind of bulldoze out a path back and forth across the hillside so they could get up with them with the trucks. So they're pretty common. If you go around the Wisconsin in the winter, you can really see some of those logging trails. But yeah, I'm glad I saw that. There's the old foundation. You'll notice that it's actually quite small. Now that is a tree. They say this thing could take up to 4 inches in diameter trees. Pretty sure. So let's run over this one and see what happens. I don't really want to send it through there though. Let's send it right under the wing. This thing is awesome. Well, we just gained a little bit of ground underneath that tree. I estimate that tree was approximately 2.5 inches in diameter, so it can take up roughly, it's supposed to take up roughly twice that, so there is a huge multiflora rose bush underneath that tree. That's always been there. It's time to check it out. Now there is a tree in there, so I can't go too far in. Yep, there she goes. As far as I can go back. I was hoping I could get closer. Oh well. Good enough for me. Yep, you need to die. This bush has been here as long as I can remember. Wow. It's gonna be weird not seeing this thing here. Yep, this thing has Ryan's official seal of approval. Oh, I didn't pack my swim trunks today. Woo! Oh, that was just a little wet. A big reason I like to keep this mowed is because if you don't, especially down right there, is that it just keeps getting worse all summer, and then it just becomes a swamp. But if you cut it now, later on this year, it'll be dry, and it's not as big of a problem. So that's one way that we use these mowers to kind of keep the ground nicer. I mean, nobody really wants a swamp. All right, let's widen this road. This path used to be so wide, but then the rose bushes started to take over. Not anymore. Actually a pasture under there. Okay, some of these design choices are definitely starting to make sense to me. So I was wondering why these were on here. And the reason being is because it's to provide reinforcement for when you back over stuff. So that's actually pretty nice that they put those on there, so that way you're not bending the metal. This thing handles wood very well, especially when I was backing it up into some of those bushes up there. Unfortunately, she is starting to get a little scratched, but I told the people at Rhino that I would put it to use, and that's what I'm going to do. So, very nice. You know what? That tree should go too. No more Mr. Nice Farmer. Oh man, that's like a straight drop off. Look how nice it is under that tree. gonna call her quits for now. There's another hillside over there that I didn't want to get started on because I really don't have enough time to go do it all. So I'll get to that another day. Ryan Likey. Now, if I had to think of one thing that I really like about this thing, it would probably be that, you know, it's made for 4-inch wide trees. However, if you accidentally let a larger one slip underneath, don't worry, it'll get it down to that 4-inch size. So it's a lot of fun to use because it's really cool just watching the pasture open up after you go through and mow it down. So anyway, I'm gonna head back for tonight. So thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. All how farms work, and I'll see you next time.